Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today we're going to be working on my Chevy 1500. So let's take a look at what we got going on. Today I got some stuff. So let's take a look in the bed. First, I've got a big old box, which is an AC condenser, and then I've got some AC refills for my truck. Second, I got some spark plugs. I need to replace my spark plugs, but with my AC condenser, it's not holding a charge like it should. So over time, every time I refill my AC, it leaks down. Well, I want to see if it's the condenser, because the condenser is notorious for getting a hole rubbed into it and then it leaking. So it's not too bad to sit here and do this, because it's right about here, and we're going to pop all these tabs off, all those. Once we pop all those off, take these little doohickey brackets off and push everything back. I'm going to have to remove this intake, which is going to make it easier, but we'll remove the full intake to do this, and pull the radiator back a little bit, take this little panel off, which is kind of loose already. And here's the condenser. Oh, that's a radiator. The condenser's right in front of that. So it's not too difficult. It shouldn't take me more than an hour to pull this old one out, put the new one in, put some new gaskets in there as well, and then we'll have a new condenser. I've got an AC refill kit as of a vacuum pump and everything else in the lines. We're going to go through that and figure that out itself. Let me remove this battery too. This is an old battery. I just threw it back in here after getting a new battery over there. This one won't hold a charge very well, so I'm going to pull this one out, put it in my scrap pile of batteries right here, and every time I need a battery from wherever, pull this one out as a core and get my money back. So let's start there. One thing I like to do before I even get to taking something apart is look at what I got in the mail, because I've had too many times where I bought something and it didn't fit because I bought the wrong thing or they shipped the wrong thing. So let's open this thing up the wrong way. Pull this thing out. So after looking at everything, condenser looks like it fits. I've got my spark plugs here. They're a NGK 5019. They'll be in the description below. Just some R34 refrigerant, and then got some little boots to go on my new spark plug wires, which is still in the mail. Fingers crossed I get them before I get to changing spark plugs, so I can have them and replace these original spark plug wires that I've had since the truck was bought. But when I bought it, it had 190,000 miles on it. Now it's got 210. So I don't know when the last time they were replaced. So we're going to change all that and make things a little bit better. So far for removing everything, you're going to need a 10 millimeter, a ratchet, a little claw, got a gnat in my face, some gloves because you're probably going to get refrigerant all over your hands, and a little pick to get some little pins out. A 13 millimeter for your radiator bolts. So we're going to start out with using the clip remover. All right, good. The mail lady's right there. She dropped off my spark plug wires. Anyway, you got 3 10 millimeter bolts up under here. You got 3 up under here as well. You got this bracket. This bracket's gone, so you don't have to worry about that second one. You got a 13 millimeter bolt right here. Then you got 2 13 millimeter bolts. One right here, one over here. As well as this bracket down here, you need to take off because it gets in the way of the condenser coming out. So, and it's just a bolt here. You gotta take this off, which is here, 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 here. And then there's a bolt somewhere down here up under your battery tray, or not battery tray, your intake tray. With your windshield wiper fluid reservoir in the way, there's a bolt right up under here that you have to get to. So you either got to use a 10mm wrench or a ratchet that'll fit. So I'm not sure which I'm going to use because I don't have a whole lot of room. I'll probably use maybe a swivel ratchet and it'll work pretty good. Or I'll use an extension. Let me do that. It's kind of difficult because it's kind of tight in this area. So. Out. All right, now we're here. That pops off simply. It's done. All right, now this leans back. All right, now we're gonna pop this tab off, and then we're gonna pop the tabs off down there that's up under here. First, we're gonna take this out, then we're gonna pop those tabs off real quick. So 10mm, quite a few times. Hopefully it's not difficult to see, but you got 3 more 10mm down here, so we're gonna take all those out real quick. All right, that's the first line we're gonna take off. It's got a stud with a nut on it. I think that's 10mm. So we're gonna use the ratchet real quick, get that off. And then up here, we're gonna pop this little plastic piece off right here. And there's that little pin that we're gonna take out. So, or a little clip. And then the hose just pulls straight out. Then after that, there's a little compression piece of plastic right there holding the tab, the side tab of the condenser in on this side and on this side as well. This one I can reach, the other one's kind of difficult, but we'll get it. So onward. So those are pulled off now and they're leaking a little bit, but that's just oil and whatnot. There's no back pressure because it's leaked so much that it just doesn't have any more back pressure. All right, so this little pin or clip comes off with this little pick right here. So the way you do this is you want to put a little pressure on the back side of it down here, and as you do that, the pin will, or the clip will pop up. Just keep your fingers on it, and if so it doesn't pop off because it'll go flying. There is a clip on each side. Just make sure you do the same thing for each side. Use your pick, pull up from the bottom, get the clip up a little bit, keep your fingers on it so it doesn't fly away. This little plastic piece, just shove out of the way. If I can get it out, there we go. All right, done with that. Now that all the pressure's off, this thing should be pretty easy. There we go. Simple enough. I ripped my glove open, got oil spewing out everywhere. We'll spray all that with super clean after we get done with this. So everything is disconnected. We just gotta do the little plastic pieces on the sides. So let's do that, pull this thing out. So with that out, we're gonna clean up the bottom down here. It's pretty nasty. This little thingy keeps coming off, I don't know why. But it was off whenever I got in here. It looked like somebody's been in here before. So yeah, I'm gonna just sweep all this stuff out, clean up the radiator a little bit, and go from there. Two things before we put the new condenser in. One, we got some super clean here. We got oil on both sides and up there. We're gonna spray all that off, let it sit. We'll wash it out once we get done with all this, so the super clean works really well in it. Second thing is, we're gonna take these plastic pieces off the condenser right here, and we'll push it on the new one because it holds it in place with the radiator. So super clean first. Put on spray. Stream. one other vital part that I forgot to mention was the O-rings on these need to come off and be replaced. So I have O-rings in a different kit that should fit it, and I'll take these off, replace them so we don't have any leaks, and I'll put the link in the description below for the kit that I have that has these little O-rings in it. All right, so I cleaned these side pieces up all the way with the super clean, put it on, got the stud in. Now we're gonna press everything together. The new gaskets, there's a big one that goes on here, and it's a little bit bigger than this. Hopefully it doesn't hurt anything, because the other one was tearing apart, and it's not exactly the same thing, but it is a gasket. As you see, this thing was kind of ripping. So it's replaced. There's already clips in the sides here, so all we had to do is stick the hard line straight in. So this is going to be a pretty simple drop in, hook up on both sides, making sure these tabs go in the radiator holders, or the radiator clip things. They're in front of the radiator, and then just put this on with the same nut that came off the other one, snug it down. I can't remember the foot-pounds. I think it's 16 foot-pounds. Not sure. Just make sure you're holding the lines, because they're aluminum and they will bend. So yeah, make this quite easy. So I'm going to throw all this in real quick, and we'll talk about the lines in just a minute. All right, so the lines are in on both sides. Those lines are kind of snug down here, right there. I just gotta fully set it with the torque wrench I'll have to look it up, but like I said, I think it's 16 foot-pounds. But we're gonna put this cross member back on real quick to mount the radiator, so I can get down there very easily without having to finagle and hold on to things as much. That'll put that in place, and then we'll put that brace back in after everything. So let's go ahead and get the radiator and everything fixed where it's supposed to be and go from there. All right, radiator's in, condenser's in, fixed all my panels up here for air gaps and stuff. Just got to put that little piece back on. All the bolts holding the cross member is on. Still got to put this bracket on, but I'm going to tighten that down here. Those two lines, I just got to hold them really well so they don't go everywhere. And then we'll put this bracket on, and then the air box. Fire the thing up, and then we'll get the compressor and start vacuuming it down. So let's get these lines in. We're good to go. Got this kit off Amazon. I'll put in the link in the description below, but it is a vacuum pump and AC regulator for putting refrigerant in. That's what it's called. So we're gonna place this up here. We're gonna get the lines correct, which is high, low, and vacuum. And we're gonna suck this thing down, let the vacuum sit on it. And yeah, once we do that, all is good. We're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes with the vacuum just sitting and watching the gauge. Hopefully we don't have any issues. If we do, then we got another leak somewhere. So let's get everything lined up and hook this up. Once we do that, we'll be good to go. All right, when vacuuming down, I don't use the high side, I just use the low side. Yellow goes to the pump, blue goes to the low side. Make sure this is open all the way up. Make sure this is open all the way up. Oh, that's open all the way up. All right, make sure this is closed, good and closed. Make sure this one's closed, good and closed. I gotta take it all the way out. We're just gonna close it because it won't do anything. All right, and we got the cap off there, got this on, and it's gonna be loud for 30 minutes. We're gonna pump this, we're gonna set an alarm and do that. Well, I did the easy side for the spark plugs. So here's the new spark plugs, NGK LTR5GP. They're 5019, that's the code for them. So here's the old ones. These are AC Delco. They don't look too bad. They're a little bit crummy right there, but not too bad. So they're probably replaced not too long ago. I've got a exhaust bolt for some reason that's backed out. I guess they had to put new gaskets on there. Whoever had this truck before me ragged it out a little bit. So got some heat sleeve, which I just like to use. Old spark plug wires and the new Denso wires. They use the same type of heat sleeve, or the heat sink on the bottom, and then I just cover these up top just to kind of keep a little bit. I like the look of them. I mean, it really doesn't really help with the heat when you got that much still exposed to the heat. I just like the look of them. They're not expensive, so they help out a little bit with deterioration, I would say. But yeah, I got 4 more to go. These 4 plus the other 4 are gonna get zip tied and thrown in the toolbox just in case. As you see, I got one that's burning through because it was rubbing against something. That'll probably get tossed. But I like to keep a set just in case I need one as a repair for something. So there's my Denso plugs, or my plug wires. I will express, shop around a little bit. Amazon sells them. They're a little bit expensive on Amazon. I went to Rock Auto for those. I got them a little bit cheaper than what you get them for Amazon. I bought the spark plugs on Amazon, and then I bought the condenser off eBay. I always part shop because you never know when you're going to get a good deal. Thing I like about Amazon with most parts is the return policy is quick and easy. You don't have to worry about anything. eBay, a little bit more difficult. Rock Auto, it sucks because you lose money in the sense of returns. But I shop around for all my parts to make sure that I get the same part number or whatnot for the price I want to pay, not the price that somebody else wants you to pay. So when it comes down to it, find the best deal, shop around a little bit, yeah. Or buy it all off Amazon so you have a good return policy. So, but all this will be in the link in the description below, off the Amazon links, because I'm not going to link Rock Auto because you just look stuff up on there. You will pay shipping on there, unlike Amazon. eBay, I'll put the link for that one in the description, and I'll put one for Amazon as well, because those might sell out, I don't know, but you can get both. So I'm going to get back to this on the hard side, which is the passenger side. This is still running. We are almost to negative 30 psi, and then we'll let it sit for 30 minutes without the pump on to see if it holds the pressure that I want. And then once we do that, we'll add the refrigerant and go from there. So let's get back to it. All right, timer has gone off. We'll press stop on that. Now we'll get our cans of refrigerant and we'll put them in the truck. For that, we've got to get it running though. So I'm going to close all valves. We're going to hook this up to this valve. We're going to hook it to this and open it on up. Well, I forgot to mention, I got all the spark plugs and wires out. Yeah, there's 2 more. There's a broken one. I had 2 just completely not want to come off, and they broke. So it is what it is, but they're all changed out. So I got new plugs, new wires, new heat sleeve, and now we're gonna start the truck, turn the AC on, and get this thing rolling. So let's see. AC on. Turn it all the way up. Now let's do this. All right, well, the truck is blowing super cold. So as long as it sustains that for a while, like forever, I'll say that is a win. But If it doesn't, then I'll probably start replacing fittings. Because I've already replaced Schrader valves before in the low end and the high end, just to make sure that I didn't have an issue. It still leaked down. So the next thing is, I've heard the condenser sometimes can wear a hole in it, and that's what a lot of people say. So with the plastic, it just over time wears a hole into the condenser. So we are now we're finished. We're gonna move this thing out of the way and pick up whatever I dropped down below and throw away all this trash, and then that's trash. This is not. Right. But anyway, thank you for joining into another episode of The Shop. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything else, any questions about the products in the video, just drop it down in the comments. Other than that, all the stuff I told you was going to be in the description. It's going to be down there. So yeah, it works. It got everything done like I needed to. So I want to thank you for joining in, and until next time,